Are you saying thanks or am I saying thanks?
You can't. You say, I would just say like, hey guys, thanks for coming to the wedding.
Okay, done. Fantastic. Are we rolling? Hello everybody, Chad and Julie. I'm welcoming you to this fun little video. Just want to say thanks for everything and thanks for coming and hopefully enjoy it.
Thank you guys for sharing our very special day with us, and we love you and enjoy the video.
Julie and I first met, I guess middle school, but I have a hard time remembering back that far.
He and I weren't necessarily friends, but kind of just acquaintances. And we went to middle school and high school together, so we spent 7 whole years together. But like I said, we never dated. We both had different circles of friends. You know, he was super quiet, and you know, I wasn't all that outgoing, but more outgoing than he was.
She was always in their little cheerleader clique, and I'm sure she's gonna say I wore my sweaty, stinky brown hat all day. But yeah, that was me in high school. I wasn't really the most outgoing kid.
We reconnected actually via Facebook. So, you know that little side section that it says suggested friends and, you know, you may know this person. I actually found him on the side of there and I added him as a friend, and he was like, oh, I can't believe you remember me. And I was like, you're such a dork. Of course I remembered you. So that's how we ended up reconnecting.
Our first date, I don't know if you really call it a first date. It was more get drinks and reacquaint ourselves.
We kind of Facebook messaged back and forth, but he was living in Montana at the time. So our first date, we kind of set up over Thanksgiving of 2009, I think. And we went to DTC Tavern, and of course, I showed up late, as always.
So I just had to sit there for about 15 minutes, just like today. So, no, she's gonna like me when I say that. So we just went and had drinks and kind of reacquainted, and I don't think we really both either of us considered it really a first date.
We just totally hit it off. It was like I don't want to say it was a weeknight, but it might have been, and we just ended up like sitting there and talking and drinking, and we closed down the bar. It was just like us and the bartender by the time we left, and it was so much fun. And then I went down to Pueblo and spent the holidays with my family and came back up, and we stayed up until like 3 a.m. before he had to leave and fly back to Montana.
But that was first date, first kiss night.
The thing that attracted me to Chad most is, well, he's hilarious. He makes me laugh all of the time. I mean, he's just got this kind of sarcastic, goofy personality, which I just love because we're both goofy and kind of nerdy.
There's a lot of things. Sportiness, very outgoing, very alive. She's always smiling, she's always outgoing. She's always a chatterbox too, so I guess that's kind of good, goes well with me, because I'm kind of hard to shut up.
He's got the best eyes and the best smile. That was just, but totally, I don't know, won me over, those huge eyelashes. And
Yes, there's tons of stuff, but now I'm on camera and I'm gonna forget it all.
yeah, his big old smile, his mom says he's just full of teeth, which is true.
Of course, she's attractive. She's got those big blue eyes. So I'm just kidding, they're brown. She's got those big brown eyes, and she's very athletic. That was one of the more important things that I liked. She's a sweetheart. She's always real interested in what you have to say, whether she's probably interested or not. She's always just pretends she is, so that was a good thing. I think that was one of the things that kept our conversations going the first date and the first night. So
I knew Chad was the one when he moved back up to Montana and we did the long distance thing, and I was just totally devastated when he wasn't around.
all throughout college and even when I got out of college, I was kind of getting bored with girls very easily. You know, I'm just like, oh, this girl's boring. I can't handle her for more than a couple months. So the fact that I made it more than 6 months without getting too annoyed or could actually hang out with this person on a day-to-day basis and enjoy it, that was probably one of the first steps.
I missed him more than anything, and it was just something that I'd never really experienced before. He was unlike anybody else that I'd ever dated, and he understood me, and he was my best friend, and when he wasn't around, I just didn't feel complete. I didn't feel right.
And I made a bet with her, and I said, if you come up and visit me, I'll get a manicure and a pedicure, which is what she really wanted. And I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. So I never thought she'd come visit me, but she actually did. And to this day, I still haven't repaid that debt. I think she was gonna make me get one before the wedding though, because she doesn't think my hands are very attractive. But once we started doing the long distance thing and traveling back and forth for 6-8 months, I knew then that she was the one.
So I had no idea Chad was gonna propose. He'd actually come down the weekend before and bought my ring, and I had no idea he was in town. He kept it a complete secret.
You know, my good buddy from Montana came down and went ring shopping and finally picked it out, bought it. The whole weekend she had no idea I was down here. She was actually at a birthday party. She was miserable. This is so boring, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, of course, I wish I was there, you know. And the whole time I'm 20 miles away.
I'd planned this week-long or 5-day-long trip up to Glacier National Park, which was his #1 place that he wanted to visit. And so I plotted out where we were gonna drive and what we were gonna see and blah, blah, blah.
She comes up, we're going to Glacier, we're gonna do our little fun trip for my birthday, and she has no idea the whole proposal's coming. So I gotta drive 8 hours in the car with her, trying to figure out how I'm gonna say this whole mess of words. And she just thinks everything's hunky-dory, like, you know, hey, we're going to camp, blah, blah, blah. And I got this whole thing in my head.
We ended up sleeping in my car because all of the campsites were taken and all the hotels were taken because Glacier's only open 2 months out of the year. So anyways, we sleep in my car and we wake up and we decide to go on this hike. It was a hike called Avalanche Creek.
First day we hike a couple miles in and I'm like, I can't take it anymore. I gotta propose. But I still don't know what I'm gonna say. Kind of got 20 different things going in my head what I'm gonna say. So we hike a couple miles in and there's this mountains all around. There's waterfalls all around. I'm like, okay, this is it. I don't know if this is gonna get any better. I don't know if it's not. So I gotta propose.
You're just 360 surrounded by mountains and just gorgeousness. And so we decided to walk around the back of the lake and just kind of relax and have a picnic. And I'd packed the lunch and everything, and so we lay down and we're laying in the sun, and I had my head on his shoulder, and we're both kind of catnapping, dozing in the sun, and a bee flies in my ear, and I freak out and wake him up and startle him, and we're both awake.
So we go have some lunch and start handing her 10 full sandwiches, and here's a bag of chips, and here's the ring. And she's like, what the heck is this? And I'm like, oh no. So I say, hold on, and I say, of course, you know, I don't even remember what I said. I'm sure it was a bunch of jumbled words that I don't even quite remember.
And I thought they were gonna be earrings, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I start to grab the box, and he puts his hand on it, and then, poor guy, he looks so scared. And he looked at me, and he just told me how much I meant to him, and you know, he said that he wanted to do this forever, and
asked her to marry her, and I don't think she really knew what was happening at that point in time. So then, of course, she was like, so I know you're excited, yeah, but you gotta say yes. And so I was kind of waiting for that part.
I was so shocked. I had no idea what was going on. I'm like, where am I? Is this real? And then, you know, we both got all emotional, and after a while, I said yes.